And Chairman Lundberg, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This regards TSU. Obviously, this committee has had a great deal of information and discussion on TSU. Frankly, this body has to take some action. We are limited in what we can do. I have a saying that those of you that know me have probably heard before. It is that culture is the collective behavior of leadership. The things that are happening at TSU that have been going on for a number of years has to change. That has to become a flagship institution. That is not occurring. That means there is leadership changes that need to be had. That is what this piece of legislation does. It takes that current board from 10 to 5, and with that, I move adoption.
You've heard the sponsor's comments. Any questions for the sponsor on Senate Bill 14? Oh, we have a motion by the chair, seconded by Senator Pody. Any comments, questions on Senate Bill 1427? Oh, there is an amendment. We do have an amendment also. Amendment is 6142.
Move adoption.
We have a motion on the amendment. We're going to do this with a voice vote, get it in proper order. Do you care to sponsor or care to speak to the amendment?
I went through it. Yes, sir.
All right. Any further comments on Amendment 6142? Chairman Hensley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this amendment is decreasing the board from 10 to 5.
Chairman Lundberg.
It is. It also has, it changes some of the appointment. It gives the governor 2 appointments, our Speaker of the Senate and Speaker of the House an appointment as well, which I think that representation is needed.
Chairman Hensley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And then 1 member is appointed by the Faculty Senate of the university. What is the Faculty Senate of the university?
Chairman Lundberg.
So, as far as who makes that up right now?
Yes, is that a student group in the university, or is that, what is the Faculty Senate of the university?
No,
Chairman Lundberg.
it's an advisory group within the university. They are made up of faculty, so not students.
They are teachers within the university. They're Chairman Hensley.
So that group would elect a faculty member, and that would be a full voting board member. One of the 5 board members would be a faculty member.
Correct.
Chairman Lundberg.
Does the present board have a faculty member?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and these 5, 3 would have to be residents of the state. Well, what's the logic of them not all having to be residents of the state?
Senator Lundberg.
Thank you. We have alumni that are across the country.
Senator Hensley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So could any of the present members be reappointed to the board?
Chairman Lundberg.
Yes, there's no stipulation that they can't be, so certainly.
Chairman Hensley.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. So this vacates the board as of July the 1st this year, and then immediately these other members are appointed, and they have to be approved by the legislature, do they not?
Chairman Lundberg.
They do. So, and I believe government operations meets year long and could handle that.
Senator Hensley.
But do they not have to be voted on but by the whole legislature?
Chairman Lundberg.
No, sir, not on an interim basis. They would be appointed, and then we would confirm them.
Chairman Hensley.
They would start serving, and then we would confirm them when we came back in session.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, one more question. What's the thinking of decreasing it from 10 to 5? Why not 7 or 8 or 9, or leave it 10? Is that just because most of the other boards are 9, I believe. Most of the other college boards are 9, so this would be less members than the other college boards. So what's the thinking between, for doing that?
Chairman Lundberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Candidly, they need to right the ship and do it quickly. And I think frankly, we had a number of recommendations for an even smaller board. I didn't think that could be effective. I think 5 is an optimal spot, and I expect it will be, again, the size it is right now, but it'll take some time for that ship to get righted correctly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Hensley. Any further questions? Leader Akbar, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And to the sponsor of the bill, with this would put Tennessee State's board in a posture that's different from every other LGI. Is that correct?
Chairman Lundberg.
Yes, ma'am. I think they are right now operating differently than every other LGI.
Leader Akbar.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand the concept of saying, well, this board is not working, even though I do think it's divisive and overreaching to vacate an entire institution's board. I could understand if you said keep it at the membership level that it is now if you wanted to vacate the board. But reducing the board of the only public HBCU in the state not only optically sends a terrible message, but operationally does as well. Why would 9 members be good for UT, but not be good for TSU?
Chairman Lundberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Leader, if you say optically, that sends a bad message. Optically, what's happening at TSU is a bad message. Optically, when we have students that are not coming back, that can't get their records, can't return to school, I think it's more than optically. There are real issues. I think we've got to have a board that will address these now and takes, frankly, the thrust of what we're doing. This is not a message. This is a demand. We've got to get this moving in the right direction.
Leader Akbar.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I said optically and operationally, because it does reduce. If you say, well, TSU's not on track, but all the other schools are, they have 9-member boards. So why would TSU be able to excel with a reduced board amount?
Chairman Lundberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would tell you they're not excelling right now with the 9-member board.
Leader Akbar.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll just say this last thing. I think that there were a series of recommendations that were made to help the state partner with Tennessee State to really put it on a path that we think is important, and a reduction of the board was not one of them. I mean, there are a series of options that the current board is considering, including the hiring of additional operational staff and trying to address some of the issues within the comptroller's report. I understand that this committee is going to do what they feel they must, but I just think that there are other ways to achieve the goals that we all have, which is for Tennessee State to succeed and for students to feel good about their university and graduate, which I will note TSU has a very similar graduation rate as every other institution. They're at 40%, but so is UT, and so are these other schools actually below that. I think University of Memphis may be at 38%. I'm not saying that that's good, because the school I went to has a 94% graduation rate. I'm not saying it's good, but I think that we have to look at our institutions as a whole and not just Tennessee State. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Leader Akbari. Any further discussion on Amendment 6142, Senate Bill 1427? Seeing none, we are voting on the amendment. This will be a voice vote. All in favor of Amendment 6142 will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The amendment carries. Going forward, any further discussion? Have we moved Senate Bill? Mm-hmm. We moved. All right. Senate Bill 1427, do we have any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Senator Agberry? No. Votes no. Senator Crow? Votes aye. Senator Gardenhire? Votes aye. Senator Hale? Votes aye. Senator Hensley? Votes aye. Senator Pody? Votes aye, Senator Powers.
Aye.
Votes aye, Senator White. Votes aye, Chairman Lundberg.
Aye.
Votes aye, Mr. Chairman. You have 8 ayes, 1 no.
Senate Bill 1427 passes on to the Committee on Calendar. Next up, Senate Bill 190, Chairman Lundberg.